Yo, what up, YouTube? Welcome to another edition of KVZLive Customs. Today we're doing a Simon Says with a very select VIP group of individuals. This is the best of the best. I bring you nothing but the best. Real quick though, if you'd like to participate in these Fortnite customs, I go live every day at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. TikTok, Twitch, YouTube. You can find us on all three platforms. If you'd like to play Fortnite with me, be a part of these customs. Without further ado, let's start the game. All right. Now, this is going to work very simple. When I say Simon Says, do what I say. If I don't say Simon Says, don't do what I say. If you do what I say when I don't say Simon Says, then you will be killed. Step one, Simon says, do not move. Do not pickaxe. Do not jump. Simon says if you move in any way, shape, or form, pickaxe, jump, squat, any of those ways, if you move like that guy's doing right there, I will shoot you. Simon says this starting now. All right. It was just that guy. All right. Simon says, everybody come with me. Simon says, everybody come with me. Also, chat, real quick, if you get eliminated, we are not discussing eliminations in chat. So if you come in chat and say, why was I eliminated, you're just going to get ignored. All right? Cold hard ignored. All right? Now, everybody pick a color. Make sure you're on a color. Pick a color. Pick a color. Make sure you're on a color. Simon says you must be on a color. Simon says if you're not on a color in the next 10 seconds, you will be eliminated. All right, we're going to eliminate 2 colors. Oh, dang, son. All right, congratulations. All right. You made it through the color round. Simon says, follow me. We're going to do the K-raves. Simon says you must have 2 feet on the dance floor. Simon says you must have 2 feet on the dance floor. Simon says you must have 2 feet on the dance floor. All right, Simon says, when I shoot the gun, you're going to run through the cave all the way through. I'm going to eliminate the last third of you, in theory. Maybe some more, maybe some less. But don't be last. Make sure you're on the thing, dude. What's up, Be Your Own King? What up, dude? All right. We're down to 9. We're down to 9. All right. All right, chat. Simon says we're going to do musical chairs. Everybody stand in front of these chairs. Should do a... Nah, I'm good, Flash. Thank you, though. I did a plenty of those, man. I'm good on that stuff. People only wanted to do those when there was, like, giveaways, bro. It was the most trash thing ever, bro. Hard pass. Riley, thank you for the follow. All right. Simon says, when I shoot the gun, you're going to run around the track. You're going to run around the chairs. When I shoot the gun a second time, you must jump on these chairs. Now, look at this sign right here. Look at this. All right. Now remember, Simon says you got to stand on the chairs to the right of the sign. I didn't tell you that part, but I'm telling you now. Simon says if you want to stay in, you got to be on the chairs to the right of the sign. Simon says when I shoot the gun a second time, find a chair. Simon says when I shoot the gun a second time, you need to find a chair to the right of the 1v1 side. All right, that doesn't count. All right, and Simon says everybody come over here. Simon says everybody come over here. Rocky parkour. Okay. Simon says when I shoot the gun, you're going to race through the parkour track. All right, we're down to 3 contestants. Simon says everybody come up here. Simon says everybody come up here. Now, here's what's going to go down. Simon says, when I shoot my gun, you're going to run around the chairs one more time. Now, Simon says, when I shoot my gun the second time, you've got to get on one of these front stools. One of these stools. There's 2 stools. This one or this one. The front middle stools. There's only 2 good stools. We're going to eliminate. We're going to get it down to the top 2. So one of you is going to get eliminated. So when I shoot my gun the second time, you got to get on one of these stools. Okay? There's only 2 spots. We're going to get it down to the final 2. All right? So Simon says, I shoot the gun, you start running around the chairs. I shoot the gun the second time, you got to get on one of these. Only these 2 are good. All right? Try this again. Nah, fashion show's going to be tomorrow, Zinz. Fashion show's tomorrow, guys. Fashion show tomorrow. Plan for it. Plan for it. 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right, we're down to our final 2. Here we go. Come with me. Would you rather do gunfight or parkour? No, let's do gunfight. All right. Each of you go into one of these tunnels. Each of you go into one of these tunnels. Each of you go to one of the tunnels. All right, here we go. At the 1v1 gunfight. Now, when I start the fight, the barrier in between you will be removed. When you are ready to fight, I want you to crouch. So take your time, and when you're ready, crouch. Go ahead. There it is. 2 a.m. Venom with the dub. Ladies and gentlemen, there's your winner, 2 a.m. Venom. Hey, yo, real quick, if you're watching this video on YouTube, remember, we go live every day at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, if you want to play in our customs. All right, thank you so much for watching. Bye, chat. Everybody say bye. Everybody say bye. 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 See you later.